road drive where we pick up two daughters. I gotta tell you, I might have gone a little bit too hard on running the last. This is going on the third week. So yeah, like today's Tuesday, and not last week I did 30 miles, but the week before I did 55, and I just I got a run in on Sunday during the day, and then I was able to go every morning over at the beach or by UCSB. No, I think it was at the beach. And I was definitely, I did a 7, you know what it is, 7, a 10, 11, an 8, a 10, is that right? I don't know, I did a lot. And then I managed about, and I could have ran on Saturday too, and got like my best week ever. But I just couldn't pull it. I was freaking tired too by Saturday. But it would have been 7 days and 60 miles. I think my record is 59 and change when I look back through my log. And so I didn't. I rested Saturday, and then I took my oldest daughter in the jogger thing, and ran about 6 miles. But I ran about 6 miles. But she's about 60 pounds or something. So there's a few times where I was pushing uphill, and I might have strained my calf muscle or in the shin splint area. Or I just didn't need to be pushing 60 pounds while I ran. But yeah, I went, and I did like 10 miles the next day, and then I think I did an 8 the third one last week, and then I managed to grid out a 6 at UCSB, and that took me to just over 30. And I was, telling myself, oh, I can run 10 miles on Saturday, or I can break it up, and I didn't. So then, that was Friday, and then I didn't run Saturday or Sunday, and then I could still feel a little bit of soreness in the calf shin splint area like Monday morning, but just gotten so accustomed to dropping the kids off and then going running and getting some miles that I just said screw it, and I didn't even care how bad it hurt or was gonna hurt. And so I went, and actually I got out the door. I think what has been happening also is if I get out the door, if I get everybody ready and we get off and we're going, meaning we're leaving the house and we're getting dropped off and we're dropping people off early, I think I got to the beach at 7:45 or something, and I started my run at 7:55. So just the prospect of having extra time to run and then get back to work not so late was, I think, exciting. And so I started running, and then I could feel its tightness and soreness, and definitely the first mile I was kind of laboring, but get the pain just wasn't bad enough that I couldn't like run through it, and I was just gonna be fine with it just being sore later. So yesterday I ran my longest run ever, and I ran half, and it was 13.11, and it was I thought I was gonna feel a bigger sense of accomplishment, because I had run back in, I don't know, it must have been the summer of 2020. I ran like 12.14 miles like on a Saturday, and I just remember my Achilles was pretty sore after that. But other than that, I felt way more like just dead after that one. But yesterday I ran the 13.11 miles in an hour and 45 minutes and 9 seconds. And I just I started it from the parking lot, then I went up to Campus Point and around and came back down, and by the time I get back down to like the bike path, I had already covered 2 miles. And then I don't know, I just like, there was so much other stuff I was thinking about, like volleyball, and my kid's been hitting and like spitting on people. I don't know if she's hawking loogies or if she's just sticking her tongue out like Donald or Daffy Duck, and that type of spit's going on. But yeah, I've been like, she's just been struggling like socially to get along with her classmates, and I think that's just, I don't know, that's been, and then that's just, that's just kind of one of my worries that's in the back of my head. And then we found out that she still continued to do it yesterday when the teacher emailed us back. So yeah, and I'm just so hard. I'm not trying to complain or anything. I just didn't. Parenting looked so much easier from afar when they're not your kids. Like watching my brother and sister-in-law parent their 2 boys when they were younger, it looked like so easy, like you just needed to do this instead of that. And now that I have my own children, I have 3 daughters, and it's just so much more difficult than I had anticipated. That just everything is so new, and situations are so new, and that, I feel like I missed a lot of opportunities to get ahead of all these situations and behaviors, and by putting her in situations so she'd have to adapt better behaviors earlier. And I'm just kind of beating myself up about not doing that, and I don't know, not reaching the level of good parent that I've put myself up on for somehow. Like, I don't think I'm a terrible parent, but I don't think I'm knocking it out of the park, and I don't think I'm exemplary either. But I do know I love my kids unconditionally, and I care about them so much. And maybe I don't show it as much as I should, but I definitely don't regret them or resent them. Like, I love my little people, but yeah, I've got some work to do as a parent, and these are the things that I've been going through my head. One of the things I've been going through in all these long runs, and then just a lot of volleyball thinking, and just a lot of envisioning and what we can do in the future and what the future is gonna look like. And just I don't know, I just got lost in thought, and before I knew it, I was all the way out on Hollister Ave off the bike path, and I think I had already cleared like 8.5 or 9 miles, and I think by the time I got back on the bike path, I was only going to have to do about 4 miles or so, and by the time I got back to the beach, I only had to I had to do like a loop around the parking lot, all the way out to the slough and back, and then a few extra steps, and I did it, under 2 hours, which has been my goal for when I run a half marathon. And I guess I ran a half marathon today or yesterday, and I did that in under, and I just didn't my like shin splint, my calf, whatever it is, just didn't play as big of a factor as I had thought. I was just kind of just plodding along, and there was points where I was like pushing it too, and I think I had just decided like it didn't progressively get worse. It got to a point where I don't want to say it got like numb, but it was like manageable. And so yeah, but then yeah, after it was done, I didn't scream in the air like yeah, like no, I was just like, okay, I did it. And I mean, this is something I've been thinking about ever since the Pandy Wandy started, which I guess is March, I don't know, 13th or 14th. No, like 11th. Yeah. Whenever the Pandy Wandy started, and that's really got me running a lot because I had the time, and then also like I just didn't want to get sick, get COVID because I was unhealthy. And regardless, I did get it like 5 months later, but I was still averaging like 20 miles a week, with trying to get to my 1,000 miles for the year of 2020, which I ended with 1,448. And yeah, but I forgot why I stopped there. I think so. I had been thinking about all of it, and a lot of it started when I started hearing interviews with ultra runners, Courtney Dauwalter, and then David Goggins. I feel like I skipped Courtney's for a while, and then but I think I skipped David's also, but then I listened to them both back when I was living at my old house, and I listened to Courtney's when I went on a run one time back at my old house, and she's just so humble and silly, and then the thing that got me was she's a woman in her early 30s, and she won a ultra marathon that was 238 miles, and she beat everybody, including the men, by like 20 hours, 22 hours or something. And then when I saw her, she's, I don't want to say frail, but she's like just a regular size, if not kind of small woman. And I think I just got motivated that if someone is this into running and they're beating men, I just thought that was awesome. And I wish I could find that podcast, because that was back in the YouTube days, and Rogan's now with the other people, and that's not one of his favorites that he kept on the YouTube channel. But gosh, I must have listened to that podcast 7, 8, 9, 10 times over and over again on my runs and whatnot. And I've listened to all the other podcasts she's done, but none of them have ever come close to as entertaining as that first one with Rogan, where it seemed like she got introduced to most of the world then. But yeah, those, and then I was listening to Goggins' audiobook in the beginning when I started, and just, that's some motivating, like, macho dude stuff right there. And it was really long too, so I think it probably took me a week or two of runs and listening to at work to finish most of it. And yeah, that's back when I only had 2 kids, and I could wake up and I could run before they got up, run, shower, and then get dressed before they even got up. But not with 3 kids now. But anyways, yeah, that's back. But it's also when the pandy was happening, and work got pretty slow there for a little while, and like there was enough for me to do about 4 hours of work, but that was if I stretched it too. And so that's, I started like running super early in the morning, like when it was dark out, come back and then maybe do some yard work, and like then go inside and take them to daycare or whatever, or I wouldn't even run before I would drop them off and come back to the house and then run and shower and then go to work and get to work at like 10 and then leave at like, sometimes like 2 or something. And but I had all that time to run in the morning or during the day. And since my 3rd child's, it seemed like the only real opportunity was to run at night once everybody went to bed. And my legs are just so tired at night. Even if I haven't done any exercise whatsoever, I think it's just all the moving around, the standing up, the sitting down. Excuse me. But yeah, it was. I could. There was nights where I did 8 or 9 a few times, and then like I would sleep great, but just wake up super groggy, and then I would always eat. I would always eat a bunch of food too after I came back from my run at night. So I mean, it's kind of counterproductive to go running and then eat a bunch of food right after. Whereas in the morning or during the day, running is something where I'm not eating, and so it helps not eat until I get to 12 o'clock. So what I found, this week, that week where I ran 55 miles 2 weeks ago, it was like I will wake up and take Holster with me to work, get to work by like 5 and work for 2 hours, and then come back home, take somebody to daycare or school, and then go out to the beach, go run, and then be back at work by like, I think the latest I ever got back to work was maybe like 10:35, 10:40 or something, but it was more closer to like right around 10. And so then I could still work until 2 o'clock, 10 to 2. I was still getting the same amount of hours, but also I was getting a run in also. And there was a little while, there was a week or two where I was running at work and then coming back, but then I wasn't getting to like get any sweat off or anything. Like at least at the beach, excuse me, I run and then I go jump in the water, in the ocean water, and it feels super. Excuse me, but so yeah. But so I just got in the nice little pocket of, and the only sacrifice is I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get myself ready, to get my little daughter ready, to take her with me, feed her, and then she mostly sleeps the rest of the time if I'm lucky. If not, and it gives me a chance to see my brother for sometimes like a whole hour, sometimes longer. But yeah, because usually we miss each other because he's out in the field and I'm in the office, and they get out in the field, they're trying to get the shovels digging by before 8 o'clock or right around 8 o'clock, something like that. So, and it's like it hasn't really affected my sleep because I was just fucking so tired that I pass out at like 9 o'clock or 8:30 or 9:30. That was another thing, was running late at night. Then I was staying up a lot later, and I mean like midnight or like 1 o'clock sometimes. And then I mean obviously that's not, I wasn't going to work at 5 then, but the trade-off wasn't great. So anyways, I did the half yesterday, and then I probably just should have not ran at all today, but like I still went to the office at 5 this morning. We got 2 hours of work done. I went, and then I took Hollister, and I took Skylar, and then I went and got an oil change, and it really didn't take that long. By the time I got to work, it was like 8:45 or something, and I had prepped like all these invoices anyways, and by the time I finished like my making invoices, it was only like 10:15 or something, and I was just, my brain was just telling me, hey, like, go for a run, dude. Who cares if your leg is hurting? It's just pain. What do you like? What do you like? Is it just gonna hurt? That's it. That's all. And so we went, and we I suited up, and at about 10:30, then I went out and back to Ahe Drive and back, and did like 8.6 miles, and I mean, my shin splint or my calf, whatever, it's pretty sore, but I mean, it doesn't feel any super worse than yesterday, maybe a little bit more. But I'm just freaking maybe going too hard. Maybe I should shut her down for a few days. I don't know. I don't really want to though. I want to just go run again tomorrow. Just deal with it. At least if I'm in pain, then at least I've run. Alright. Sure where all that was coming from, or really the point, other than yeah, I ran a half marathon, but it didn't pop as much as I had wanted it to, but at least I know I can do it. I thought I could. I did.